Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back. I hope you are having a great day. If you missed it a little bit earlier, I uploaded my thoughts on Homeworx Palo Santo Pumpkin. That review will be linked in the description box right below this video if you are interested in catching up on my thoughts on that one. But in this video, we're discussing Midnight Moon, which is a Halloween fragrance that is available from Homeworx this year. Homeworx doesn't have a ton of Halloween stuff. They do have some items available, but they don't go ham on Halloween the way that some other candle retailers do. If you're curious about some Homeworx accessories that are Halloween related, I know that there are a number of pedestal type options available over at QVC. I will link what is currently in stock in the description box down below as well. I know that they have a skull pedestal. There was another jack-o'-lantern pedestal, and then I think the witch hand might still be available. There's a haunted house, although I will say the haunted house is getting some mixed reviews, so maybe read up the reviews on that one. But yeah, there is some Halloween available from Homeworx, but they really don't put out quite as much as some other retailers do for that particular holiday. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into Midnight Moon. I actually think that this reminds me of a Bath & Body Works fragrance, so we'll get to my comparison here in a minute, but let's go ahead and read through the fragrance notes. All right, so they say that this smells like autumn leaves, fresh pumpkin, dark woods, and ginger crystals. All right. What does this bad boy smell like? Honestly, it kind of smells a little bit like leaves. It smells a little bit like leaves from Bath & Body Works. Now, is it an exact dupe of that? No. Also, this has much less like intensity or oomph behind it than leaves does. But if you like leaves as a fragrance, I think you're gonna like Midnight Moon. Does this necessarily smell like a spooky Halloween type scent? I wouldn't say that. It's definitely a fall appropriate scent. You really do get that kind of nice leaf type note. You smell some pumpkin in here. There is kind of that like almost like golden apple nectar type note as well. Although it's not quite as intense in the Midnight Moon as it is in leaves. And in terms of just like a touch of ginger, I do think you get a little bit of like that ginger and like the tang that comes from ginger as well. But this is just like a softer version of Bath & Body Works leaves to my nose. It's actually quite enjoyable and pleasant. It's a lot less headache inducing than leaves is. I've mentioned in the past that while I love leaves, it is the type of fragrance from Bath & Body Works that I can only leave lit for about, I don't know, an hour, hour and a half before it kind of goes cloying on me. I feel like this Midnight Moon never really gets cloying. It just doesn't have the like that nectar, like that sweet nectar intensity behind it that sorry, now I'm getting it all messed up. That the leaves has. I want to call it harvest leaves. That's another Homeworx scent. Leaves. I'm talking about leaves from Bath & Body Works. So yeah, this is just kind of a softer take on that. I feel like it's a nice scent. I really do. I like it. I would actually repurchase it, but I wouldn't repurchase it for the label, right? Like I'm not much of a Halloween person. I've mentioned this before, but I didn't grow up with Halloween being a big deal. I was an immigrant to this country when I was 10, so I kind of missed a lot of those like formative like Halloween years, you know? I get it because my daughter is 11 and she has loved Halloween her entire life, right? Like it was a big deal for her. But for me, it never really spoke to me as a holiday, I guess. I went trick-or-treating a couple times, and then just, I don't know, just, you know, some people are into Halloween and some are not. I'm just not into it. And this label, while I think it's cute, it's got some bats flying around in the night sky, and there's obviously a beautiful full moon over here. I think it's a nice label for what it is, but I wouldn't, you know, it's not terribly spooky. I don't feel like Homeworx really does spooky the way that, say, Kringle does spooky. Like, a lot of their labels are just downright creepy. But I think the labels for Homeworx tend to be maybe a little bit more sweet, not quite as, I guess, like horror inspired as maybe some of the Kringle labels. But this as a scent, I really do like it. The strength and the throw, I'm gonna put the strength of this, I don't know, I think it's another one that's right in that like 6 range, 6 out of 10 in terms of strength as well as throw. I do wish actually that this one was just maybe a touch stronger. If it was like a 7, I think it would be pretty close to perfect. But yeah, it's just not giving much more than that. I do want to say something about the wicks here though. So these are the type of wicks that form the big mushroom tops that are then going to put your wicks in danger of keeling over. I would not let this one develop a very deep wax pool, but I also just would not leave it lit for a long period of time because of how long those wicks get and how heavy those mushroom tops get. They're going to keel over on you if you burn this for too long. I have found the sweet spot with this one is like 2.5 hours, and then I kind of have to blow it out. I had one of the wicks keel over on me after one burn. I was able to correct it because the subsequent burn, I just lit the other wicks that didn't keel over. I obviously trimmed them. I trimmed these wicks quite short, not down to a nub, but they need to be trimmed for sure. And then it ended up pulling out completely again, so I was able to lift that one wick up with that huge mushroom top that had keeled over. I went ahead and clipped that top part off that was weighing the wick down, and it corrected itself. So I will show you the top of the candle here so that you can see all 4 wicks working again. But you can see that I'm at the halfway point. And yeah, like this wick over here was the one that I had to rescue. You also see those like little black dots. Those are just from those mushroom tops, like when I'm trimming them. Like they're just a tricky wick, I'll just say that. I know these are the types of wicks that a lot of people struggle with from Homeworx, and I know that you shouldn't have to have restrictions. But if you burn these types of candles too long, you're gonna lose the wicks. Like, that's just the moral of the story. If you wanna get your money's worth out and avoid having to like mess with the wicks, I would suggest limiting the burn time. If you're not willing to do that, then this would probably not be the candle that I would encourage you to get. Now, that being said, those were not issues that I had with the Palo Santo pumpkin at all. And the other Halloween candle that I will be reviewing for you, it's the Possessed Plum one. That one also has the wicks where it develops like the huge mushroom tops. So I'm thinking that this might be a situation where maybe all of the Halloween candles have this specific type of wick that you just have to watch a little bit more closely. So I do want to disclose that to you guys. However, if you do have one keel over, you can fix it. You shouldn't have to again, but it is fixable. Just let it pool out again the next burn, and then you can gently lift that up out of the wax with I just use a toothpick, and then I have my little cuticle scissors there just to snip that heavy part off, and then the wick just stands up on its own again. So anyway, hopefully that's helpful if you have been dealing with that with this particular one or any of the other Halloween candles. Let me know your thoughts on Midnight Moon in the comments down below. And yeah, if you found this video helpful, definitely give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you are new, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.